But it's because it's like witchcraft and spells and Caribbean people, we don't do that.
Yes, you do. That's y'all.
No. Some Caribbean people. The ones that got colonized by the Christians.
Thank you, yeah. They lost their magic. But yeah, just something about fantasy. Just
yeah.
I don't know. Especially in games, I don't want to be traveling around a place that looks like London, England. And why is the English, the British accent, the standard? It's a fantasy. It's fantasy.
White man's fantasy.
Yeah, white man's fantasy. Thank you. They should just call all this this new white man's fantasy show where everyone's proper English speaking. Get out of here, bro. Because you don't really know the lore of Fallout. So as someone who is coming fresh, hasn't played the games, what did you think of the show so far? It's just one season.
I thought it was good.
Like, what did you like about it? Do you know anything of the games that like you were like, oh, that's from the game? Or
at the final scene, spoiler alert.
That's where I think Bethesda shines, is their world building.
Yep.
And that's where I think I was most impressed with the show.
Yeah.
If you are a fan of the games, if you're not, you will still enjoy the show, I think.
Yeah.
You don't really need to, like, they did it in such a good way that they explain the lore, they explain the Great War, they explain the companies and the vaults.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are a fan of the game, you are heavily rewarded.
What are some of the esoteric things that you picked up on?
So,
because I feel like you
in the show?
In the show.
Well, let's start with vaults 33, 31, and 32, the pyramid of vaults. I have to bring this up because this guy is a major inspiration to me. Maybe I use the word inspiration loosely. Like, nah, this guy's an inspiration to me, bro. And it's maybe one that's not directly related to the stage, but it's 100% within the realm of comedy. Conan O'Brien is back. I don't think he ever really left, but my God, man, I don't think this guy can miss. And this week's poll question was, which of these would you most want to change? And the options were age you started to understand life, age you lost your virginity, age you first got drunk/high, and age you first moved out.
Hey yo, it's Black Zeus, the podcast season 5. Welcome to the show where we talk about life, talk about the come up, and sometimes we fight. But in the end, it ain't a thing, cause we ain't trying to be right. We're just old new niggas with another podcast. This is season 5, episode 13. We living out our dreams, and this ain't even fucking sleep. We do this while we wait, cause nigga, we the fucking great. We do this comedy shit all day. That was so bad. That was the word. I almost want to redo this. I'm not going to, though. Not going
This
to.
is Black Zeus, the podcast season 5.
One take. One take, but nigga, no, we ain't no fakes. We up in the studio. Nah, I'm not doing that. No. Welcome to welcome to another episode of Black Zeus, the podcast. What up, beautiful people? This is Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5, episode 13. We living out the dream. Hello, I hope all the beautiful people are doing great. Hello to all the new subscribers. Hello to all the new people that have been commenting, to the liking, to seeing all the new shit. Hello, welcome. If you want to be beautiful people, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button and come back next week. That's it. If you haven't done that yet, you're looking kind of ugly. But, until then, let's get into it. This episode will not be 2 hours. Jeez, I'm over that shit. We don't have to recap UFC 300 no more, so just right to the comedy shit. How you guys doing? I hope you guys have been having a good week. I hope life's not too hectic for you. I hope you're able to deal with all the hectic shit and stay centered, stay calm, stay focused. It's a lot of distractions. It's distraction season up in this bitch. And this is a comedy podcast. I'm not no guru, so let's fucking start with the jokes. Here's a joke. A Jew and a black man walk into a bar. I didn't write the rest of this, so come back next week. I left the window open, and should I close it? Probably not. Probably not. Anyways, before we get into this week's episode, let's do some housekeeping. I got shows. This will air the Wednesday, which means this Saturday, the 27th of April, at the Greenhouse Bodega on College Street in Toronto. It's the second edition of Chop Cheese Comedy, co-headlined by Jesse Singh and myself, hosted by Sashka DC. It is a monthly show. Let's redo this. I got to redo this because we're chopping this up for a clip. So just bear with me, all right? I'm bringing you backstage right now. I could have cut it. I'm not going to. I want you guys to see how the sausage is made, all right? This Saturday, April the 27th, is the second edition of Chop Cheese Comedy, co-headlined by Jesse Singh and myself, hosted by Sashka DC. It is a monthly comedy show where we run over a theme. This week's... Fuck! Why do I keep fucking this up? I'm looking at Dante, who I haven't introduced yet, like it's his fault. It's not his fault. It's my fault. I gotta be better. Wait, let me lock in here. I got woosah. Third time's a charm. This Saturday, April the 27th, is the third edition of Chop Cheese Comedy at the Greenhouse. What?
Second edition.
What did I say?
You said third.
Ah! I haven't introduced you yet. Shut up! God damn it! Yo, fourth time's a charm.
Third time.
Well, this is the fourth now.
Oh, yes.
Bro, wait till
Sorry.
you introduce, you son of a bitch. No, thank you. This Saturday, April the 27th, is the second edition of Chop Cheese Comedy at the Greenhouse Bodega on College Street in Toronto, co-headlined by Jesse Singh and myself, hosted by Sashka DC. This month's theme is sex, love, and relationships. It involves audience participation. All the comics will be talking jokes about sex, love, and relationships. Then we'll be pulling suggestions from the crowd. And at the end, all the comics will end up on stage together, and we'll chop it up together with the audience talking sex, love, and relationships. Have I said sex, love, and relationships enough? This Saturday, get your tickets. It's only $20, limited seating. And yeah, it doesn't work without you all there. So make sure you are there. And bam, that fourth time, done. Yeah, fuck it. That's all I'm going to promote for the rest of this month. We're almost nearing the end of the month anyways. I'll probably be at the corner and yucks. Bam. My comedy trajectory's looking all right. That's all I'm going to say. The comedy gods is smiling on you, boy, because they recognize a god. Gods recognize gods. Salutes to Conan. Yeah. All right. Now let's do what we're supposed to do and bring in the best producer in the game. This guy's so good. He's on this podcast with a comedian that people are just starting to find. All right. Which before I used to say nobody knew. So we're moving on up to the east side to a deluxe comedy club in the sky. Cause we're moving on up to the east side and Dante's in the studio. All right. That was your cue.
Boy, it's just alcohol. Y'all is doing too much. It's just alcohol.
That's a meme, yes?
Yes.
I never see these. I don't know. I never. What is it?
It's just alcohol.
Can you pull it up? Is it worth pulling up? I would imagine if you used it for the intro. It's just alcohol. When you do that voice, it reminds me of that Nate Diaz fucking Assalamu alaikum, my niggas. Pow, pow,
It's
pow,
kind of
pow.
similar. It's not much.
He's at the barber. Yo, full screen this. Was that like a remix meme?
People remixed it, but this is it.
Yo, you can tell I was burning that nigga. Ah! Fresh cut. It sucks when they put that shit. I mean, I wouldn't know nothing about no fresh cut anymore, but you know, I used to. That is hilarious. What is that? LeBron James wearing a fucking, he looks like a Jew. What is that? What does it say?
You are my sunshine.
What the fuck is this? Yeah. Turn this shit off before we get flagged. That image alone is fucking hilarious. That has to be on the thumbnail for this week's episode, bro. What is that? Shabbat shalom, my nigga. I see why your career is so good. Ooh, get this nigga off my screen, boule ass nigga. Go fuck yourself. That's crazy. How you living, bro?
Blessed and highly favored.
What you been up to?
Just working, you know.
What you been up to comedy wise?
Just writing stuff, you know, coming up with jokes. Yeah.
All right.
Watching stuff.
What is this, fucking lawnmower season? Like, there's no way. It was snowing yesterday, which is odd because it's April. Can you hear that on the mic? Is that coming through? No?
Barely.
No, all right. Well, fuck it. Someone's cutting grass or flying over or some horse shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. What the fuck? What's new?
I just been watching stuff, writing jokes,
What you been watching?
Heroes.
Jesus, bro. You're still on that old shit.
Dog, there's so many episodes.
There's so much new shit. You already
Yeah,
saw
and-
Heroes.
and- okay, I watched Fallout,
All right, fair. Okay.
and I'm watching Shogun.
Okay. I mean, you watched Shogun, potentially.
Shut up.
This nigga's so crazy. He's really so anti-spoiler. It's amazing. So I was at a comedy show last night, which we'll talk about in the recap in a minute here. And I was talking to a comic, and they were describing how they were watching Shogun, and I'm pretty sure they said that it was a season finale. And I just said that to him. He's like, Dante's talking about how he's watching Shogun. I'm like, so how'd you like the season finale? He's like, that was a season finale? I go to look it up. He's like, don't.
Yeah.
Can you just explain the process behind that? Like,
Okay. When you've watched enough TV, you understand that there's a certain pacing towards a season,
yeah.
right? So if you know how many episodes are in a season, you can predict the pacing of the show. And I don't want to be able to predict it.
Yeah, but who's to say that you're right?
Me,
It's a prediction.
and I'm usually right.
Man, I want to punch you.
I was able to predict a whole scene in a Marvel show just because they follow a specific outline.
Formula? Yeah, but Marvel literally is cookie cutter. They do nothing new.
No. I said a specific scene would be in a specific episode. And then that scene was in the episode. That
But
I said
again, that's Marvel. I feel like
no, but how could I have known unless I predicted it?
oh, you some type of.
I was right. What do you mean?
All right, fair enough. I feel like what I'm trying to say is I think Shogun is a better produced and more varied product than any Marvel thing has been in the past 10 years.
You haven't watched Daredevil, so
The new Daredevil?
the TV show, the
Netflix one.
You have
Fair
to
enough.
watch it.
Was that written by the Disney Marvel team?
I do not know, but it's fire. Trust me.
I don't care about Daredevil. I don't care about superheroes.
It's not even like that, bro.
I don't. God.
It's not. It's all. It goes into morality and.
Of course, but
It's
like, aren't
deep.
there a million other things that aren't superhero related that I could
This
watch?
guy's
that do the same
barely
thing?
a superhero. He's blind.
And I can't not picture Ben Affleck.
He can't picture you either.
That's. Touche, you son of a bitch.
My whole point is
Touche.
when you know the end of a season is coming up, there's always like a build up and
Yeah.
and then it ends. But that's if you know that the end of the season is coming up,
Yeah.
you can predict that okay, it's building up to this, it's building up to this. I don't want to know when the buildup is. I just want to be like, damn, it's getting hot. It's getting hot. Whoa, what's happening?
Oh, slow down.
No, tranquilo. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, I like to be surprised, but it's hard to be surprised when you've seen so many shows.
Fair enough.
You know, like I'm sure you've watched enough TV to where like when there's dialogue between characters, there's only like a certain amount of things that a character can say in response to something,
Yeah.
especially in like TV writing. So like you can predict what they're gonna say word for word before they say it, just because you've narrowed down like, okay, well he said this, so he's got to say, well, you won't catch me next time. You know what I mean? Like
Your
something
level
like
of enthusiasm is sickening. Like I can see you gradually building up. Like it's like fucking. Good for
Trying to
you,
chill
bro.
out.
Tranquilo. So you said that to me 8 times today. It's gonna be stuck in my vocabulary for a week. Tranquilo.
Tranquilo.
Okay, you said you watched Fallout.
Yes.
We brought up Fallout last week. You finished it,
Yep.
bruh. One of my favorite gaming franchises of all time. The Fallout game series. I'm actually going back and playing the PC ones because I've never played them when I was younger.
Okay.
I got into Fallout and Fallout 3
Okay.
on the 360. And then New Vegas, and then 4. I have 76, but I never really played it because but I've always been interested because I like the isometric top-down games from back in the day. I grew up on those era of video games. And I never thought to play Fallout. I don't know. It never crossed my radar when I was younger. But the story is just as in-depth, and all this shit that I didn't get from the games that I didn't really understand, now I'm getting the backstory on. I'm playing Fallout 2. I'm not going to do the first one.
Yeah.
because the controls are just, but like mouse
It's
and
like
keyboard.
reversed.
It's not even reversed. It's just like the way. It's like you have to click to go where you want to go.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Ah,
You never
bro.
played League of Legends, obviously.
No, nerd. Nerd. No, I never got into shit like I never got into real time strategy games or maybe Age of Empires when I was younger.
Okay.
But I only played those games like I would use the cheats.
Oh.
I would enter a cheat like yeah, bro. I never bought the games like because they came in like cereal boxes and shit.
Did they really?
Yeah, like Roller Coaster Tycoon,
I played
Age of
that, yeah, I played
Empires.
that, yeah.
There was a Monopoly, all like the board games and shit.
Yeah.
And then they would give a like Atlantis, the movie, the animated movie. There was a PC game for that
Yeah, I had that one.
in the cereal box.
Yeah, with the fish. And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
The
and the white boy.
yellow and blue fish.
It's white boys in Atlantis. What? Do you know anything about Thoth? Go back to that comment. Do you even know
Yeah, I
anything
know,
about
right?
Thoth the Atlantean? Fucking weird. I hope that motherfucker's watching this. Oh, they said his name.
We should tag him in the episode.
No, fuck that nigga. Unless he's subscribed, then what's up? Fuck that nigga. Also, yo, what up, yo? I hope you're doing all right. But yeah, have you ever played any of the Fallout games?
I played Fallout Shelter.
Man, you're off the podcast, bro.
You asked.
That's not one of the games.
It is.
It's
It has
a mobile game.
It is. You asked if I played a Fallout.
No, I asked you
game.
if you played an actual. Okay, have you played a mainline Fallout game?
No.
Fallout Shelter is not that, and if you tell me it is, you're off the podcast.
No, I haven't. But it was on purpose, like kinda,
What do you mean?
because I could have played Fallout 4, but I decided not to because I was in school and
Oh, fair enough.
I knew that if I really got into Fallout,
Yeah.
because it's made by Bethesda,
Yeah.
and when Skyrim came out,
You played Skyrim.
16 hours a day.
Jeez.
You know what I mean?
You had
Like,
no job.
yeah, because
Yeah,
this is 2011, like
Okay, fair
when that
enough.
dropped.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that game came out like 20 years ago, but they keep re-releasing it. Holy shit.
Yeah,
So you like Bethesda games?
yeah. Like
This is essentially Skyrim.
I
Like,
know.
yeah, it's that with guns, right? That's
exactly.
what everybody always says.
that's what I said about Far Cry.
I
2.
like the lore better. I'm so done with fantasy. Fantasy movies, fantasy video games, fantasy books. Fucking I don't know how they managed to make dragons gay, but they did. They fucking did it. It's over.
Did you watch the Game of Thrones?
Gay? The first episode is brother and sister fucking. Don't even tell me that's a good show.
How's that gay? It's a man and woman.
Okay, incest. Like the fuck is that any better? Jesus Christ! I think gay is actually better than incest. No,
Oh my god, you're judging the whole series off.
I watched the whole first season.
Okay, did you
fucking
watch the se-
trash.
did you watch the
Fucking
second
trash.
season?
And Lannister, and I watched it, and then no, what I ended up doing then was just looking up all the titty scenes afterwards.
And you still didn't want to watch the show?
No, I got what I needed from it. What are you talking about, man? Jerk off sessions. What is this? I saw her getting fucking plowed from behind, and I'm like, yep, there we go. Like, bro, someone in Hollywood really liked that Emilia Clarke girl because they had her get fucked on that show.
Well, that was part of the character, though. If you had
Someone
actually
wrote
watched
that. They didn't need to write that in.
Yeah,
and
but
by the way,
they didn't.
By the way,
No.
this will be the episode where you get totally naked and what's his face? Fucking Aquaman.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Momoa. Jason
Momoa will just back shots. Just
Yeah, that was in the book.
Game of Thrones. Was it in the books?
Yes.
Really?
Because
And then he thrust into her buttocks.
Yeah, because that was a political marriage. So when she married,
Wasn't that a R word?
well when it's an arranged marriage, like for the
Dothraki. The Dothraki. See, I fucking watched the show. This
Yeah.
is garbage. Actually.
So it
It's
was-
a red wedding. Oh my god, people died. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. They died in a brutal way, though. It was supposed to be a wedding and everybody got massacred, bro. White people have really low standards for fucking media.
You gotta watch.
I can't say that because you're into it, so. White people, you got off.
It's good, dog. Just and then we'll go to Fallout, but like, yo, there was a time, and if you know, you know, but they were showing Game of Thrones in the movie theaters.
Yeah, I know.
So like, I went for like the series.
And then tell
the
me
season finale.
how satisfying was that finale?
The last season wasn't the greatest.
What a great show.
Yeah, but
What a phenomenal show. They ended it like garbage.
That's not, you know what I mean? Like sometimes
That's the show.
Yeah, but okay, so you're saying because the first 5 seasons were great, and then the last
Were
season
they all great?
they were really good. They were really good
So what happened the last season? How did they fumble the?
because they wanted to go on to a different project, so they just shortcut.
That's enough time
the
on
last
Game of Thrones, bro.
Let's go. That's what I said. Let's go to Fallout. I'm just saying it's a good.
Did
show.
you like the Lord of the Rings movies?
I never watched them.
That's odd, but I get age difference. We don't really have that much of an age difference. You were like cognitive, yeah. Like
Yeah, I was cognitive.
you weren't a fetus, were you? Like,
No, because
you didn't get caught up in that hype. I got caught. I saw all of them in theaters.
When I was younger, like I wasn't allowed to watch all that fantasy stuff.
What?
My mom was very.
I knew the hood movies.
Yes, I couldn't watch hood movies.
I guess that is the hood for white people.
What?
Fantasy movies
That's the hood.
for white people.
Yo, castle's the hood, dog.
Yo, dog, yo, meet me at the castle, fam.
But it's because it's like witchcraft and spells, and Caribbean people, we don't fucks with that.
Yes, you do. That's y'all shit.
No. Some Caribbean people, the ones that got colonized by the Christians.
Thank you. Yeah, they lost their magic.
Yes.
Jamaica.
Well,
Shout outs to Haiti, bro, keeping the voodoo alive.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he said voodoo. Is that anti-God? It's actually of God. You figure it out. I'm not here to fucking educate you on that.
But yeah.
Just
So
stop
like
being
no
afraid.
Harry Potter growing up.
Gay? Nah. I watched like the first 3, and then I just completely fell out of it. But yeah, just something about fantasy. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially in games, I don't want to be traveling around a goddamn place that looks like London, England. And why is the English, the British accent, the fucking standard? It's a fantasy. It's fantasy.
White man's fantasy.
Yeah, white man's fantasy. Thank you. They should just call all this shit white man's this new white man's fantasy show where everyone's fucking proper English speaking. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Y'all are fucking dirtbags with that goddamn shit. This is medieval. Y'all niggas need to learn about the Spanish conquistadors and what happened with them and the Moors and just know that maybe Europe wasn't always white. Just figure that out. That might break your whole world. You know? That might. But I don't know. Crack open a history book. Again, this is not that show. Sometimes it is.
Fallout.
So the show Fallout. Scary hours, because when you introduce a video game into like television or movies, typically doesn't do well. But everybody's saying right now that video games are kind of going through a resurgence in terms of TV and movies. Like, damn, there was another project that got high acclaim, but I was initially like, when they announced that Fallout's getting a TV show. I saw the trailer and I was optimistic, and then I saw the show and I'm like, damn.
Borderlands. They're making a movie.
Yeah, it looks like ass. And Kevin Hart's in it. I'm out. I'm out.
I'll still have to see it.
Like all, not just even Kevin Hart, the whole Jack Black.
You don't like Jack Black?
I'm trying to think of something that I really. Nacho Libre? No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think like School of Rock? No. I do like Jack Black to some extent, though. There are things of Jack. I like Tenacious D a little bit, his band.
Okay.
Like just for a goofy comedy band, they had some fun songs. If you like rock, what's a major? What the fuck has he done? Why can't I think of anything?
He was in Jumanji. That was
the
with
new
Kevin
one.
Hart. Yeah, the new one with Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
And The Rock.
Why can't I remember anything that this dude's done when I was younger? How do I know Jack Black? From well, that should tell you what I think of Jack Black. I actually don't dislike him. I just obviously think nothing. Anyways, Fallout. Jeez. I know we're gonna get you guys talk about nothing. Fucking comment section weirdos. Let me get your take on it first, because you don't really know the lore of Fallout. So as someone who is coming fresh, hasn't played the games, what did you think of the show so far? It's just one season.
I thought it was good.
Like, what did you like about it? Do you know anything of the games that like you were like, oh, that's from the game? Or
At the final scene, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Spoiler alert. At the final scene where he runs off with the power armor and he goes to that other city, I was like, that's New Vegas.
All right. Oh, at least you know it was New Vegas. Like it wasn't just Vegas in your mind.
No, I knew it was
I'm
New
like,
Vegas.
that's the Vegas skyline. So I was like, oh, good.
Yeah, so I knew that. And I knew because they had followed New Vegas.
New Vegas is absolutely my favorite game in the franchise. Fallout 4 is right there with it, but
Oh, you know what I will say? Sorry.
what?
I thought the way they depicted the knights were really cool.
The nighttime?
No, the knights, like
Oh, the
Knights of
Brotherhood.
the Brotherhood of Steel,
Okay.
because they're
Except for the Michael Rappaport part. Ugh.
no, but it's
At least he dies immediately.
no, but it's justified because they're supposed to be like
Macho, but they turn out to be fucking.
they're
wimp-
just human
yeah,
people as well.
wimpy bitches.
You know what I mean? So it's like they're like, oh, the knights are coming, and you're the squire. You have to do everything he says. And I thought it was so funny. They had to lug around those
big
huge
bags.
and like they're just like, and then the knight's just like, shh, or like here, clean.
He gave
this.
him his little, like, he fucking took the cod piece off of his
Yeah,
armor.
He's like, clean this, right? But then you find out that the knights aren't like, when you get closer to them, they're not like the macho mysticism that surrounds them, right? And that's why I feel like the Michael Rappaport thing actually fits, because he was a bitch and he died running away, right?
That kind of fits his character.
That fits his character, right? Because
I don't think he wants it too, but that fits his character.
no, but I mean, because right before that,
And I'm not talking about his character in the show. That fits his character personality wise.
I don't know him personally,
Michael
but
Rappaport's an annoying motherfucker online. Jesus.
when right in that scene before he dies, he's like, "Oh, you want to be a knight? Well, you got to do brave acts. That's how you level up. That's
Yeah,
how
and
you
then
get
they're
your
all
glory."
wimps. Yeah.
And then he's running away and he dies. Like
That was
that's
good. I like the juxtaposition.
that's a great juxtaposition. And then
Did you notice all the esoteric shit? So, if you guys aren't familiar with the Fallout series, essentially there's a Great War. Like, the whole series starts with the Great War, which is essentially when all the nuclear bombs drop, and all the rich people that got spots in these vaults go into these underground vaults all across America, and they survive the bomb blast. Everybody above ground is essentially nuked and irradiated. They turn into ghouls, or they're human, or they're feral ghouls. Feral ghouls like can't speak or anything. They're literally like zombies. Ghouls can speak, but they're slowly deteriorating to become like zombie-like. And then the other people are just the surface dwellers. The people in the vaults, they were purchased by this company in-game, in universe, called Vault Tech. They created all these vaults, and the amazing thing about this game is through all the game series and now the show, you start to discover that there's hundreds of vaults across America, and every vault essentially is an experiment run on the people living in the vault.
Yeah.
That's not how they were sold the vault when they went in. They just thought they were going in for security and to outlive the nuclear blast, and they would come out and repopulate the surface and turn it into a new America. You know what I mean? And what you find out in the show, which is fucking amazing. I love that they did this scene. They had a whole scene where essentially
round table?
the big round table, it's like an Illuminati round table,
Yeah.
and it's Vault Tech, and it's all the companies that actually are represented in the game. So like Abraxo, fucking the handy robot,
Handy,
Mr. Handy,
yeah.
like the actual, I forget now, I actually forget all these names. The main one though is Robco. Robco is the company that builds the robots.
Yeah.
Mr. House, you saw him sitting at the table. So Mr. House is from New Vegas,
okay.
and you never played New Vegas. So once you get into the Vegas, you essentially New Vegas in the game, you don't start. It's the only game I think where you don't start in a vault. You're a courier who's hired to deliver a chip. It's called the Platinum Chip, and you're supposed to take it to the Vegas Strip to deliver it to a casino. It's got like a hard drive in it or whatever the fuck, and then you get shot on your way there and buried. Fun Easter egg there. The character Benny who shoots you was voice acted by Matthew Perry from Friends. He was such a fan of the games that he went on to talk. I think he was on Ellen. This is how much of the game I fucking can't stand Friends, but I know this. Like he was on Ellen DeGeneres show just talking about how much he loves the game, and then
They got
they
him in
heard
there.
they heard it and they got him to be a voice actor in it, which I think is really badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game is fucking, and because I got in when Bethesda started making all these, like I'm telling you, like I'm going back and playing the PC ones. All the original Fallouts were created by a different developer, and it was way more RPG focused, like role playing game focused, and there was a lot more in depth character building and stuff in the older games. New Vegas was a spin off because Bethesda made Fallout 3 and they were going to make Skyrim. So while they were doing that, they just gave the franchise back to the original creators to make a spin off, and that's how New Vegas was created. Bad move on Bethesda's part, great move for the actual fans.
Yeah.
Because turns out Bethesda's not as good as the original creators, and everybody says it still to this day. Nothing has really touched New Vegas. They went back to the RPG mechanics, and they kind of dumped some of the stuff that they did in Fallout 3. They made it more survival focused and stuff, which is more challenging. I just love the actual locations better. There's more variety, I think. A smaller map, but densely packed.
Yeah.
That's where I think Bethesda shines, is their world building.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I was most impressed with the show.
Yeah.
If you are a fan of the games, if you're not, you will still enjoy the show, I think.
Yeah.
You don't really need to, like, they did it in such a good way that they explain the lore, they explain the Great War, they explain the companies and the vaults. But if you are a fan of the game, you are heavily rewarded, because almost every time the camera moves, there's a Easter egg, there's a reference.
I like the locations. They all felt like a whole, like, each spot, like when you go to the Brotherhood of Steel, it's all gray. When you go to Philly, there's like, you're in a forest, so it's green, but you see it's like built up with like scrap metal and, you know, rusted pieces and stuff like that. You go to the vault, that's all yellow and, you know,
And, like,
metal,
clean and,
clean. Well, depending on which vault you go to.
Fair enough, yeah.
You know, because Vault 32 is, you know. Anyway.
So every vault dweller comes out of a vault in the video games. I think what this show helped me realize even more so is just how esoteric all these games are, which obviously they have always been.
Yeah.
Like any major franchise of anything is super esoteric most of the time, especially nowadays if we're talking about media.
What are some of the esoteric things that you picked up on?
So
Because I feel like you
in the show?
Yeah, in the show. 'Cause
Well,
I
let's
feel like-
start with vaults 33, 31, and 32, the pyramid of vaults that are 31, 32, and Lucy comes out of 33.
Okay.
Lucifer comes out of 33, which is Christ consciousness.
Okay.
So she's the light bringer. She comes up into the fucking thing. And who's the black guy? What's his name? Maximus. The one. And he's taught by Lucy. Lucy brings the light out of 33 to Maximus, the one. Bro, they went and it was written by Jonathan Nolan. The Nolan brothers, Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan, you know, fucking Inception, Interstellar, the Dark Knight trilogy. Those guys. Everything they do is esoteric. This show was littered with shit. Like, but also, I think done in a good way. Like, that held up. Like, in Fallout 4, you come out of Vault 111.
Okay.
Everything is fucking esoteric in these goddamn games, bro. Bruh, let's talk about the fact that, because this is what I love. The show actually plugs in to the world that they've already built. So this is canon. Like, the show that they released is canon, and I think it takes place just after the events of New Vegas. So when he shows up at the end of the season finale, and he was walking in the power armor, he walks up to New Vegas. Everybody online was excited because now we're gonna actually know what the canon ending to New Vegas is, because there was multiple endings.
Okay.
New Vegas was so dope. You could kill any character in the fucking game, main character or not, and the story would continue. Bethesda would fucking never. Anyways, that's what I like out of a video game. That's true choice.
Yeah.
Like, you actually get the choice to be whatever the fuck. You can walk up on literally one of the most main characters and bam, just blast him in the face. You'll have to deal with his whole faction the entire game, but you could do that at any point. And you can murk anybody at any point in New Vegas. And that to me was what made that the best. Like, I don't know. But every single one has an amazing map and amazing locations. And I'm just happy that they captured that. I'm not shocked at the esoteric stuff. I like how they depicted that it's all the major corporations. Like the revelation that it was Vault-Tec aligning with all the major corporations to actually drop the nukes themselves.
Yeah.
So that's what the public didn't know, and that's I don't think that was known in the video game lore.
I don't know.
That Vault-Tec was actually responsible for dropping the nukes themselves, whereas
they would benefit the most.
because of course there was already the threat of nuclear in the lore. There was already the threat of nuclear war.
Yeah.
And then they, like, in the show, they showed all the companies getting together, and then they're like, we're proposing this idea of creating all these vaults, and in these vaults, you as a corporation can run any experiment you want on the people.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is a great idea, but how do we, like, why would we invest in this when there's no war? He's like, well, we're going to cause the war. We're going to drop the bomb ourselves. Bam.
On ourselves.
No, well, essentially, yeah. I mean, they were already underground. Then they had all their control vaults and all this shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, just an amazing show. An amazing video game franchise, and yeah, super esoteric. One more esoteric thing I will drop. If you want to get into numerology, okay, the bombs dropped, the nukes dropped in the year 2277 in the video game lore and Fallout lore, 2277. Numerology, 2277 breaks down to the number 9. If you don't know about numerology, look it up. It's not my job. I'll tell you. All right. Numerology, let's say 2277. So you add 2 to 2, then take that, add it to the 7, then take that, add it to the 7. Then you get the total number and you break that down. You just break it down to the lowest possible number you can get, which would be 9. Okay? They're talking about right now, and I'm talking real world now, outside of Fallout, they're talking all this threat of nuclear bombs being dropped. Israel could drop bombs, there's nukes everywhere, Iran, this and that. 2024 breaks down numerology-wise to the number 8. We're in the year 8.
Yes.
Next year is the year 9. 2277 is the year 9.
Yeah, is a 9 year.
Is a 9 year.
Yeah.
Just saying, maybe... Why did they rush to get this show out? I don't know if you noticed this, but the show had a release date, then they pushed it forward, then they pushed it forward again, then they pushed it forward again. It's almost like they really needed to get it out just in time for maybe, I don't know. It came out before the eclipse too, so
Did it?
yeah, it did.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it did. Yeah, because it came out on the Friday.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out. This is what I'm saying. They pushed everything up early. But again, this is just loose
Here's an
esoteric talk.
esoteric question.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that Lucy came out of Vault 33, but her father is from Vault 31. What do you think that means? Right? Because he was a transfer into 33. And then we find out what's actually in Vault 31. Because in the beginning, you would think that Vault 33...
He's not even a transfer. You end up finding out that he's the owner of Vault-Tec. He's the president of Vault-Tec.
He's the president of Vault-Tec.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was the president.
You didn't catch that?
I knew he was high up, but I didn't know he was the president. I thought there was another guy that was the president.
I'm pretty sure that was him.
Because he was like...
Don't you remember when the ghoul, who is the guy from the past?
Yeah, the cowboy.
And then
He's like, I want to meet you. Then they call...
at the end of the show, where they finally Lucy finds her dad, who ends up being the Vault-Tec president.
Yes.
And then the ghoul shows up. He's like, where the fuck is my family?
Yeah. I didn't know he was the president, but I thought I knew he was someone high
They
up.
even did the flashback scene.
Yes.
Where, don't you remember, so what was the ghoul's name back in the day?
Cowboy
Before the bomb?
Jim.
Cowboy Jim. We'll just say Cowboy Jim.
I don't know.
So, wait, never mind. So
30 minutes.
It's a 30-minute call. So essentially, before the bombs dropped, he was given an insider tip from someone. He said, "Do you really know what?" Because his wife worked for Vault-Tec.
Yes.
And she kept telling her husband, she's like, "I'm working to secure us a spot in the vault." Da 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 da. And he didn't know what the fuck the company was doing. He ended up becoming the spokesman for the company and all that stuff. Even like he did this thumbs up thing. So lore wise, he created the Vault Boy icon. He ends up eavesdropping on his wife. Someone gives him a listening device to hack into her Pip-Boy, which is like the handheld unit in the video game, which they put in the show. Yeah, the Apple Watch, essentially, the old world Apple Watch. So he hacks into it so he can Bluetooth essentially listen to what she's saying, but he has to be within range. So he drops her off at work. She goes into work, and then he can't listen. So he ends up, because he's already a spokesperson for the company, he just finds an excuse to go in, and he's like, "I would like to talk to the president." So knowing that they're in a meeting, he goes and sits in the president's office while the president's having this meeting with his wife and all the corporations and shit, explaining we're going to drop the bombs. And he's listening in on this, and then obviously his fucking, like, his face just like washes all white.
Yeah.
He's mortified because he has a daughter with this bitch.
Yeah.
And she's evil.
Yeah.
And that's when he walks through the door. The president walks through the door, but the guy's like ears are ringing, and he's like listening, but he's just like eyes wide.
Yeah,
and that's when he recognizes it, and that's Lucy's dad.
Yeah. But my point is, going back to like the numbers and stuff, he comes from 31, because when they actually show you what's in 31, because what I was saying is, in the beginning of the show, you would think that 31 and 32 is the same as 33.
Yeah.
But
31 ended up being the cryo chambers for all the Vault-Tec employees.
For 32 and 33. So what do you think that means? Because all the high-end people were in 31.
Yeah. Being frozen. Until the bomb, until the nuclear fallout is gone.
And the one guy that was obsessed with time was like, we'll beat them with time. We'll beat them with time. He was just a brain in like a little fucking Roomba.
Yeah.
Like, so he couldn't even defeat time. His brain could. Like, why not just have everyone be brains then?
So Mr. House never ended up going into, like, that's how New Vegas was a thing. Mr. House essentially fortified himself in New Vegas. He turned the Vegas Strip into his own little personal fucking oasis.
Okay.
He built, I forget, the Lucky 8, I think. He has, like, one of the hotel casinos on the New Vegas Strip is Mr. House's casino. And there's really nothing happening in there other than, like, quests and all this shit. But that's when you find out that Mr. House, like, implanted his AI. But he kept his body in the basement. And there's a quest where you literally get to kill him or not. Spoilers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too late for that. But you get the option to kill him or not. And essentially, like, it's like a dead body, just like Darth Vader style. They just bring him, and he's strapped into this fucking metal table and is all dead, and you just like end his brain shit. Fuck him, fuck Mr. House. So we don't know what the ending canon wise is because there's multiple endings to New Vegas.
Oh, because you could decide to kill him or not.
Or
kill
not,
him.
yeah.
Okay.
So there's multiple ways to end that shit. Anyways, that is Fallout, the games, and the show. Let's get into something we do here regularly, which is comedy recap. This whole podcast is about comedy in the long run. I am a comedian, so I should be talking about that shit. And I had a lot of really good shows since the last time we talked. Let me see. I was at Yuck Yucks. Did I talk about the Burlington Yuck show? I was in Barrie last night. Boy, I hate that drive. Like 2 hours one way, an hour and a half the other way, and then construction. I ended up going through a bunch of back roads and all this shit. The show was great though. The show was sold out. Different Nights always puts on amazing shows. Where am I going here? Yeah, that's, you know what? I'll just talk about the Barrie show.
Center of Talking Arts.
Yeah, I did an open mic on Thursday. First open mic I think I've done since COVID. First open mic I think I've done in like fucking 6-7 years, bro. It was such a weird, triggering, but also like cathartic experience. Cause it really was a mic, you know what I mean? And I went and like, let me explain this. It was a really beautiful moment I had because, and shout outs to the Center for the Talking Arts, but I went to their open mic and it was just it was a nice moment because like a bunch of people recognize me, but I don't know any of these people. And it's like, oh, like I walked in and people started applauding. Like it was so crazy. I'm not an ego nigga like this, you know what I mean? So I'm not like, oh yeah, applaud for me. But it was nice. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, the people clapping for me, I know to some extent. But then the guy on the stage is like, yo, you're Black Zeus, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, yo, we got fucking comedy royalty, whatever the fuck he said. I was like, da 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 da. And I'm like, bro, don't do that. Like, none of these guys know me. He's like, and then they did. They're all like, yeah, we know you and shit. So that felt nice. And then because I didn't want to just, I showed up late, right? I didn't want to just jump in and do the fucking, like, I don't want to pull Chappelle moves and be like, I'm bumping everybody. Throw your weight around. So I went on dead last. I told them, they asked me, do you want to do set? I'm like, I'll try some shit out. Just put me on at the very end.
Okay.
It was midnight. And I was happy.
Yeah.
And like, I had a good time. I'll actually put some of that set because it's all recorded. I'll put it at the beginning of this episode so you guys will have seen it. Also, on the YouTube channel, on my socials, on everything, every Sunday we have a feature called Comedy Sunday Service. It features a little bit of a comedy clip from me and then other comedians like my OGs and the people that I grew up recognizing and loving and who inspired me to some extent. Like Patrice, I have on this week's Comedy Sunday Service. George Carlin was on the past week. There's some Nipsey Hussle. I combine a lot of the shit that has inspired me and I mash it together in a way that I think is digestible. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on those. So go check out the Comedy Sunday Services if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. Become a beautiful person because you're looking kind of ugly. But yeah. What was I saying? The mic.
Yeah.
I'll put that footage at the beginning, but I just remember what it was like. I vividly remember when I was that person, when I was a newbie and I was sitting in the back of the room at the open mic and an OG walked in and you're just like, oh, like I remember. So it was a really beautiful moment for me to be on the other side of that. You know what I mean? Like, I just remembered that joy. And then I felt bad, yo. Cause what happens is now a vet or an OG or an established comedian walks in. And you want to be seen. Like if you're a newer comic, you want to be heard by that person. So I watched as many of the people that I could, but then eventually I went to the bathroom. I went outside to smoke the joint and shit. And then afterwards, I was talking to all the new comics, just mingling and getting to know them and stuff. And I'm like, I walked up to this one girl. I'm like, I actually really liked your material. No, you didn't. You walked out. No, you didn't even see my set. I'm like, I watched half of it, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck. She's like, I wanted you. She literally said, she's like, I wanted you to see the thing. I'm like, shit. I really have become that guy. Like, a beautiful moment, man. Honestly, I'm so grateful, and like to just know that I haven't even peaked. I'm not even close to peaking. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if there is a peak, just because the way my mentality works is just. And then sometimes it's like this, but then it's just like it's never like this. Just always remember that progress in life is never like this. It's always like this. You start low. Let me get it in the camera here. You start low and then you go up a little and then you plateau and then you go up a little and you plateau. You might plateau for a while and then you go up again. But it's always you're moving up. It's never going down. You just stop for a bit. Maybe sometimes you go back down. Let's say you go to jail for life. That's regression like a motherfucker. Yeah, that was just a nice moment. And then cut to, I wanted to go back, but I wasn't able to because timing wise, because my show in Barrie. Like the drive was worth it. It was a really fun crowd, sold out crowd. It was at the Rec Room in Barrie, and they're not doing it outside. Like the Rec Room is like an arcade style, like adult arcade. You can go drink and play fucking arcade games. They have like a stage in one area, which we used the first time I did a different night show out there. And because it's open concept, it was bad. Yeah. Because the stage is in the corner of the restaurant area, but it's just open concept. So during the middle of everybody's set, all you hear is clink, 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 clink. Bing, 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 bing. And you're just trying to tell a punchline and shit. But this time they did it in like, they have a little banquet room.
Yeah, the back room there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was dope. Shout outs to Different Nights. Make sure you check out their shows if you got time. And if you're in the Ontario area, also make sure you check out Chop Cheese Comedy if you're in the Toronto area. That's this Saturday, the 27th at the Greenhouse Bodega. Tickets only $20. The link is in the bio right here or in the comment section or whatever the fuck. I got confused by social media platforms. Anyways, that's this week's comedy recap. Before we move too far ahead, I have to bring this up because this guy is a major inspiration to me. Maybe I use the word inspiration loosely. Like, nah, this guy's an inspiration to me, bro. And it's maybe one that's not directly related to the stage, but it's 100% within the realm of comedy. Conan O'Brien is back. I don't think he ever really left, but my God, man, I don't think this guy can miss. This guy's personality is so fucking infectious. He's got a new show called Conan O'Brien Must Go, and he's done this style of show before. There was a series on Netflix. It's essentially just a bunch of Conan O'Brien remotes, which he's famous for doing. If you're not aware of what a remote is just a remote segment on a TV show. So that's when, like, he has a studio show, so the segments would be in the studio, but when they do things outside, that would be called a remote. All right? So he used to do these things back when he ran the Late Show. It's late night with Conan O'Brien. He would do all these sketches, all these remotes, and he became famous for this shit.
This is actually one of the trucks right here.
We call them package cars, Conan.
Pardon me?
We call them package cars.
It's a truck.
It's a package car.
Truck. Take the package, pull it back. Now this one's heavy. What do I do? Do I keep the knees bent?
Yes, you want to keep the package within your power zone.
All right. My package is in my power zone.
Eventually, he moved on from that, and he started another talk show on TBS. His remotes were popping from there, and then his show ended, and now he's doing like, he's on Sirius XM. He's got his own radio program and all that shit, but he's back to doing these traveling remotes. I watched the first episode, and man, I don't know how Conan can miss. This guy has been so steadily one of the most productive and just consistently funny comedic voices to me. And if you know me personality wise and shit, how animated I am and how fucking just like goofy I can be, like I was already goofy before I was introduced to Conan as a kid, but like definitely Conan like made it a point in my mind to be like, yo, you can always be yourself to the goofiest extent and play shit up for a laugh. Like it 100% Conan is direct influence on just my mannerisms and just my over exaggerations and shit like that. Super inspirational. Definitely check out Conan O'Brien Must Go. Can you scroll down for me? Let me see what I forget. Was it Norway? No, episode 1. Just scroll down to the episodes. Norway. Yeah, the first episode. Look at that fucking thumbnail, bro. Him as a Viking. And they even did
that's
it.
him.
That's him, bro.
I thought it was just some Norwegian dude.
I'm probably gonna watch the second episode today, the Thailand episode. But just anytime Conan and his camera crew go anywhere, bro, like this guy is just so naturally fucking funny, bro. It's and obviously there's a lot of editing because he's been doing the interview gauntlet now to promote the show, and he just went viral for doing hot ones. Did you see that episode? It's fucking insanity. It's insane, dude. He's a pale, freckled-faced Irish boy. And he, you know, Hot Ones, the show where they do an interview and you're eating like 10 chicken wings and each one has a hotter sauce on it. Bro, this guy's not good with hot. But he's a fucking, he's a physical comedian. He's very physical. He's very slapstick, very throwback style. Bro, he turned it into a sketch. He turned it into a remote.
You say this is pure pepper? Mm-hmm. So there's nothing here, there's no insulation, there's no safety net?
No.
I'm not getting it. I'm just not getting it.
Oh my gosh!
What's wrong with me? Why can't I feel? Oh, it's building.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm perfectly fucking fine.
He brought his own fake doctor into the interview, and he had his doctor. He had the doctor, and he would come and check his pulse every time he ate a wing and shit. There's one time where the doctor started choking him. He's like, "You're choking me." He's like, "No, I'm checking your pulse." Like, he made it a whole sketch, bro. Like, he went all. He started putting the chicken wing bones. He's like, "Can I take these home?" And he put the chicken wing bones in his pocket. Bro, the thing that was the most amazing. You gotta watch this interview if you haven't already. This shit went viral like a motherfucker. He took every sauce, opened the bottle, because they already put the sauce on the wings, opened the bottle and just dumped and just started licking the wings and shit. And you can just see by the end of it, bro, his eyes are like just like an ocean of water. His face is fucking red. And he's like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." And he's like, literally snot is coming out of his nose and shit. His shirt, is, like his tie's undone. His shirt's like, he looks like he just went to battle. And he just dumps all the sauces on the table. Like it was. And he said the thing that probably stuck out to me the most. He's like, "I'm just a 50-year-old who's still managing to be relevant to people who are..." No, he's like, "I'm just an old man who's still managing to be relevant to people who are 50 years younger than him," and shit. Like, I think when you're authentically like that, that shit transcends age. A baby will find that funny just as much as a fucking 90-year-old person will find that shit funny. Like, Conan is tapped into just like natural funny. And that's why he will always be one of my major inspirations. I hope to God there doesn't end up being any goddamn allegations on this guy, because that would ruin me, bro. Like, please, Conan, stay clean. But yeah, that's this week's comedy recap and comedy news. That's some shit for y'all to check out. Let's do another segment that we do here regularly, and then we'll wrap it up. I think this has been a good episode so far. Plus, no more. At least not for a while, bro. Maybe the next UFC recap or preview, we'll do an hour-and-a-half episode. But bro, I need rest like a motherfucker. But yeah, this segment is something we call poll results. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, beautiful people. You know that this is a regular segment that we do on my social media. Every Monday, I post an interactive poll question. I leave it up for 24 hours on Instagram, and we leave it up for the entire week on the community tab on YouTube. You guys vote, and we discuss the results. And this week's poll question was, which of these would you most want to change? And the options were age you started to understand life, age you lost your virginity, age you first got drunk/high, and age you first moved out. Before we get to the results, Dante, how do you vote on this one?
If I'm being real, I don't want to change anything.
That's what I knew. I knew it. We're too similar. I got to start making shit that we disagree on so that we can. But yeah,
That's not even an option.
But continue.
That should have been an option. I don't want to change shite.
I only get 4.
I know. So take one of them out but change nothing. Either way.
You know, I feel like too many people would have went that route. Like I did this specifically for that reason to
Okay.
force you to pick one of these.
Okay. Exactly. So if I'm forced to pick,
Yeah, you have to pick one of these.
I would choose age I first moved out.
Interesting. Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought just based off of your response that it would be understanding life. Would you say you started to understand like,
Can you really ever understand life?
well, I got a lot of DMs about that. A lot of people were like, people understand life? Like my boy Jordan, he's like, people actually understand life? You know, all this shit. I'm like, which I completely understand because you never really grasp
think-
life. But you do start to understand
I
life.
think you understand life when you're a baby and then you forget.
Man, go fuck yourself. Don't come at me with that baby shit.
No, but it's so much easier.
I get what you're saying because you're technically closer to the other side when you're a baby than now.
Yeah. And then you get
But
indoctrinated.
wait a second though, I didn't know any of this esoteric shit.
Yeah, but you don't have to. Because
I guess because you're just existing.
The
is explaining
esoteric
what-
stuff
what
brings
is
you back.
to what you are naturally, and as a baby, you're just naturally that esoteric
go.
stuff. So it'd be moved out.
Yep.
Is there a reason why you went with that one?
I think it's.
Would you have moved out sooner, or would you have stayed?
Ooh, that's an even better question. I don't know. I would prefer if I would say moved out earlier,
Yeah.
just so I would have had more experience earning my own longer.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Like starve a little sooner,
Yes.
just to boot up a little faster.
Yeah.
Because once you get a little bit of starvation under your belt, bro, you're like, oh, it's go time, nigga.
Yes.
Like, oh, I got to do everything in my power to not starve.
Exactly.
And that's like, that's
And you don't want to do that when you're 80 years old, 90 years old, because then you don't have the energy.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. You need to have hopefully like some sort of plan to fucking survive. And that, it's gonna be so interesting to see our generation and younger once we start to get just a little bit older.
Also, because if I had moved out earlier,
Yeah,
I would have been able to afford a place. Now everything's way more expensive.
I thought about that, about the moving. Like, if I was gonna end up moving, like out of my last spot, I should have done it way sooner because like, fucking prices just jolted.
Yeah.
And at least but I don't know. I don't have a roommate anymore, so I'm fucking.
That's good.
Whew.
Yeah.
I'm over. I would rather live at home with my family than have a roommate.
Yeah?
Yeah, because your family understands you. Like, there's way more of a mutual. At least for me, not everybody's family.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
my family and I mesh
Yes.
really well. And I love my old roommate, like solid dude. He's a comedian, but bro, we clashed mostly on dishes.
Oh my goodness.
And I was never really that type of person to fucking harp on dishes until you have one sink and you're sharing a shoebox with a Nigerian. Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And this nigga never washes dishes. I love you, Conrad, but goddamn it, you never wash the dishes, my nigga. Yo, we went battles, and I did shit that I would never expect myself to do, bro. I just
like sweeping the floors.
When you get fed up, bro, you just get fed up, and you say, like, at one point, bro, it would be days. We have one sink and only a limited amount of dishes.
And your plates are at the bottom.
No, like we shared plates and shit, but like we only have so many.
Yeah. Okay.
And one sink, nigga. How are you gonna keep piling shit
Yeah.
until it's literally like a fucking Jenga? So one time I straight up took all his dishes, I piled them up together, and I just put them in front of his door. You just be like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, bro, you go crazy, bro. like legit though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would go crazy over that shit. You don't realize like just little things like that, man.
Yeah.
So we take so much for granted until you actually come across the experience where you're like, oh fuck, the other way is actually, you know what? Maybe I was complaining about nothing. I think I'm still gonna go with understand life. Mainly, again, I wouldn't actually change it. But if I were to change any of these things,
Yeah.
it would just be coming into my own sooner, coming into my own understanding.
Okay.
Like I was I consider my early days, I was a late bloomer because single parent household. I had to learn a lot of the lessons the hard way.
Yes.
Through the streets.
For the
The
streets.
street nigga with the street stuff.
Screeting it up.
Screeting it up, yo. No street nigga screeting it up. Yeah, so I had to learn all my shit that way. And honestly, single black mother household, one of two options. I was either gonna come out gay or a thug. And I came out a comedian, so somehow I dodged all that shit. Oh, why would you even say that, bro? Just look at the statistics, my nigga. I'm not saying anything crazy. Oh, no. I'm just saying it is what it is. So I would probably, and I always remember that being a thing in my mind. I remember coming into realizations, and then after that realization, I come into the realization that the people around me, like some of my friends and stuff, had already been existing under that realization. I'm like, I'm so late to the fucking, but there is no late.
So how early would you want to change it? Earlier to like what age? Like,
Oh, as soon as fucking possible.
so
bro.
like 1, like 2, 3?
I would love that. Oh, bro, if I just was mega mind and just stayed that, like not even mega mind in terms of doing math. I mean esoteric knowledge. If I just understood myself, if I had the understanding of self earlier, which I had to learn through the streets. I had to be everybody but myself to figure out what myself is.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you can't deny, bro. If you come from a good household with like some solid parents that actually have some good advice and logic to, impart.
Yeah.
It's a leg up. You can't even deny that. It's
No,
not a leg up. in
100%.
life. So
Yeah.
100%, I would be like, I wish I understood life a little better, a little sooner.
Okay.
But I still wouldn't change any of this shit. I agree with you 100%. So before we get to the results, once again, this is this week's poll question. Which of these would you most want to change? And the options were age you started to understand life, age you lost your virginity, age you first got drunk/high, and the age you first moved out. And the results are... You can just press it right on the keyboard. 61% said understand life, 11% said virginity, 18% said drunk high, and 11% said moved out. So I'm not surprised by those results. And I guarantee you, had one of the options been nothing at all, half the people that said understand life would have voted for nothing at all.
Because that would have been them understanding life.
Correct. Correct. But like, I don't want to pull it up just yet, but were there results on the YouTube? We're still built, like some weeks the YouTube community tab is popping, some weeks it's not. So like if it's only got like 3 votes or whatever, then we're not really going to do the results. But if we got a few,
Let's see.
Screet nigga screeting it up. We'll play some hold music while Dante finds the results.
Yeah, 3 votes.
Nah.
But different results and a comment.
What's the comment? You niggas suck.
No, someone says, do you want me to pull it up?
Is it a negative comment?
No, it's actually, yeah, it's kind of funny.
All right, pull it up. All right. Shit, guess I'm still waiting to understand life. I even like that one. Yeah, see, I'm not surprised by that. Most people are like, yo, bro. Oh, so of the 3 votes, 2 of the people went to first got drunk or high. Interesting. Interesting.
Do you think they would want to do it earlier or later?
Later, I think.
Yeah.
Even me, when I first found out that your brain is not fully developed until 25, even me, immediately, I was like, I probably should have waited on the smoking weed thing. Just because, like, who knows? I might be good at math. Yeah, I would have waited. Had I had some patience. But again, that's my surroundings. That's my lack of understanding of life and self.
True.
So that's why I say what I say.
Yeah.
But I completely understand why the results are this way. Before we get out of here this week, I know you briefly want to touch on something UFC.
We can.
I know we already did the results. If you're looking for our result coverage on UFC 300, the video's on the page right now. But during that, was it the recap or the predictions? It was the recap.
The recap.
Dante did predict.
Yep. So I made a prediction that I would like to see for Jamal Hill's next fight. I had predicted him versus Khalil Roundtree, and they had just announced it. So
And when is that happening? It's not that far
in the
off.
summer, like June, July-ish. Yeah. So
Do you think Chama's going to end up fighting in Brazil? Brazil.
I mean, it
It's
would be
three-
good.
it's 301,
but
right?
It has to be. It would be really soon. He might.
He wants to do heavyweight, he said.
Yeah, but then he would have to wait on Tom. You get what I'm saying? Because if he wants to do Brazil, someone's gonna have to be ready for Brazil. Tom's not ready because that's like a month from now.
And you know, like, who's Ankalaev, bro?
Uncle I've called him out.
I know.
Yeah,
and
that's
he
a good
should
fight.
not, bro. He needs more ground training. He needs more ground skills.
Yes.
He needs more takedown defense before he goes up against somebody like Ankalaev, bro.
Yeah.
Stay in light heavyweight,
away.
please. Please.
Uncle
Chama.
Ive is in light heavyweight.
What was that?
Uncle Ive is light heavyweight.
What?
Yeah. Him and Blachowicz went to a crazy war, bruh.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're in the same division?
They're in the same.
Oh,
He could only hide for so long.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, Chama. Oh. That probably then would be, I think, his biggest threat.
100%.
Because he
Uncle Ive can strike.
can strike, but he will definitely dominate him on the ground, no
100%.
question.
Yes.
Now, again, somebody said this quote, which is a generic quote, but every fight starts on the feet.
Very true.
So you got to get him there first.
But he's got good striking.
He's got amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Not amazing striking, but he's got
good striking.
But amazing like takedowns
Yeah.
and ground game. So
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
I don't know if you saw. I think I said it to you. Dana White's response to all the 300 haters. Do
No.
you see that?
There was haters
Yeah.
after?
No, beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Everyone was talking smack.
Let's be fair though.
What?
It wouldn't be like if without that Max Holloway knockout, UFC 300 is not as big a spectacle. I'm sorry, Chama and fucking Hill are
Yeah,
not.
but you wouldn't have that knockout if they didn't book the fight.
Fair enough. So 300 was a success.
Exactly.
What did Dana say?
He didn't say anything. So what he did,
He said this.
literally. So basically, what he got like his editor team to like put like a compilation of everyone that was like talking shit on 300.
Really?
Yeah,
He posted this on the UFC page
on his Instagram.
on his personal one.
yeah, and it opens up with Brendan Schaub.
Yo, I did see it. You sent this to me.
I sent it to you.
I was watching it, but I think I was fucking preoccupied with
Yeah,
something. I'll go
oh,
back
so
and watch
funny.
that. That sounds hilarious. He
So-
started with Schaub.
Yeah,
Wow.
and everyone
Nobody
in the
likes
comment is
Brendan
like, that's
Schaub,
not
bro.
a coincidence.
Nobody likes Brendan Schaub, bro. You did it to yourself, bro.
But it's like, because everyone was saying, man, but you know, everyone was saying, oh, I was expecting my jaw to hit the floor. Like, this was supposed to be a crazy thing. I'm not impressed. You had a year to come up with something spectacular.
Are you talking about Tapuria?
They're talking about 300,
Oh.
right? Because they're like, oh, well, I hope, they...
Bro, no, that card delivered from prelim, from the first fight to the last fight.
Exactly.
Delivered every
But
fight.
People were talking smack about it because I don't know what these people wanted.
I don't think we talked smack about it, but I was.
No, not us.
I know we didn't, but like I was looking at the card and be like, like it looked amazing,
Yeah.
but 200 felt like a spectacle before we even got there. 300 turned into a spectacle.
300 was a spectacle from the jump.
In some ways.
Dog, you're
I just-
opening the car with Cody Garbrandt.
But
and
when I say
Justice
spectacle, see, fight fans look at 300 as spectacle.
Yeah.
I'm saying 200 had fucking Bork Lesnar.
Bork Lesnar.
Bork Lesnar. I like calling him Bork. It's hilarious. I know it's Brock. That wasn't an accident. It's
Bork Lesnar.
Bork Lesnar. Like just when they added that alone. Do you remember the announcement trailer?
Yeah.
And then they showed all the fights, and then at the end it was just Brock.
Yeah.
Just fucking like that was a moment. And I think they premiered it at the Super Bowl, like
Something like that.
something like this. It felt more like mainstream spectacle.
Okay.
UFC 300 was immediately a spectacle to fight fans.
Yes.
But it wasn't until the Holloway knockout that everybody's like, yeah, 300. That everybody, not just fight fans, everybody, mainstream. In my opinion, from what I noticed.
Once again, my whole point is you wouldn't have the Holloway knockout
If you didn't have the fight.
if they didn't book it beforehand. So saying it's not a spectacle before the fight
Fight
happens.
fans know, though.
But it doesn't matter. You have to book the fight first.
Fight fans know though. Mainstream people know Brock Lesnar. There was no name like that for mainstream people, is what I'm trying to say. There was not one. You can't tell me Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje are fucking mainstream known. Fuck no. Fight fans,
so
absolutely.
You're saying if it's not Conor McGregor, it's not a spectacle.
In the terms of what a spectacle is,
Conor's
absolutely not.
Not good no more.
Doesn't matter.
So
I'm not talking from my perspective, fight fan.
okay.
I'm talking from a mainstream perspective.
Okay.
No fucking mainstream person was looking at that card and be like, I have to watch this. People see Brock Lesnar's name. People see Ronda Rousey's name back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
People see any like Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? Does UFC have a guy like John Jones maybe?
Yeah, but John Jones keeps canceling. He was supposed to be on 200.
He keeps screeting it up.
He's screeting it out. You can take a nigga out the screet, but you can't take the screet out the nigga.
I don't think he's a street nigga though.
No, but he was supposed to be on 200.
Yeah, he was.
And then he
good.
popped.
And that was the fight. Right. Because DC ended up fighting, what's his name?
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva. But what, you're telling me just those two, the Brock Lesnar fight with Frank Mir, was it Mir?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And what was supposed to be Jones versus DC2?
Yeah, yes. Second one. Yeah.
That's spectacle immediately. Those are all names that even mainstream people outside of the fight world would recognize.
My point is,
for fight fans, we absolutely got spectacle.
it was the MMA media, right? The people that have bro, they were talking about Brendan Schaub saying this card is terrible.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
This guy fought in the UFC.
Yeah, but Brendan Schaub has a take that's not worth listening to on pretty much every front. Comedy, life, MMA. Don't listen to that dude.
But you know what's funny about Schaub's takes?
What?
He takes it from other people.
Ha! And then he just Schaubs it up.
He shoves it up.
Yeah.
Right? So he fumbles all the words. He messes it up.
What a
But you know what's
shock.
so funny? It's like, even in the compilation,
Yeah.
you see Schaub still using some of the same words that he stole the take from.
Oh my god.
So he'll take a take from somebody.
You can like cut and paste the videos next to each other.
It's literally in the thing.
Ugh.
So he's like, this is just super underwhelming. And then you see Schaub say the exact same thing. It's like,
Are these compilations online? Do people
it's
do
on
this?
Dana's Instagram.
Oh, he
He
that's
posted
funny.
it.
In his video, he did comparisons to Schaub.
So Dana White is like, before UFC 300, there's a bunch of people in the media saying that this is not going to be hype. This is the worst event ever. And this is what I have to say. And then it goes into Brendan Schaub. Well, 300 is not good. Da, 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 da. And it goes into Ariel Helwani. Like, I was just expecting more.
Oh, he put Helwani in the video too, bro. He went at everybody he hates. That's so funny, bro. That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap up this episode here. Any final words?
Any final words?
Yeah, look into the camera.
No.
All right. Is that coming through on the mic? That must be.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, this is a good place to fucking end this episode. There's some shit going on in the goddamn walls, so that's fun. But other than that, I love y'all. Thank God this started at the end of the recording, or else I'd lose my mind. Anyways, we'll be back here next week. I got to talk over this now. I love y'all. Stay beautiful. If you're not beautiful yet, just hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a like, and all that good shit. You know it helps. We're fighting Mr. Algorithm over here. But until then, we will be back for you next week on another episode of Black Zeus, the podcast. Till then, deuces.
Hey yo, it's Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5. Welcome to the show where we talk about life, talk about the come up, and sometimes we fight. But in the end, it ain't a thing, cause we ain't trying to be right. We're just old new niggas with another podcast.
This is Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5.
I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Once again, the Patreon is launched. If you do want to watch my comedy special right now, you can do so. It's only $10, and you can get it as part of the subscription fee. So, like, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get it that way, or you can just buy it outright for $10 that way. Once again, for transparency, I will release the comedy special for free on the YouTube once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can also just hit the subscriber button and just do that. You can support that way, whichever way you want to support. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I don't necessarily use it the way everybody else does, but I'm there if you want to find me. AKA Black Zeus is the person to find on those platforms.